The cells responsible for generating water currents in sponges are the caranocytes. The caranocytes are also known as collar cells. If you purchase the crash course, all these things are already in the crash course. They were highlighted in the crash course. Okay. 53. The skeleton of many sponges contain spicules. Right. So I know a lot of questions might be coming in now. They don't really ask us in-depth questions on each of these phylums, not necessarily, but the basic examples of these phylums. Please take note of them. Porifera down to Chordacta. Know the common organism or common animals that are in each of these phylums. Okay, because you will see questions on them. Definitely, you must see questions on them. All right. The skeleton of many sponges contains spicules. We have done that. A protein that forms part of the skeleton of some sponges is known as the spongin. Which of the following is a genus of sponge? Sicon. So another thing that will tell you, or another thing you might be seeing, once you see sicon or sicon, please take note, it is still sponge they are referring to. Sponge, sicon, porifera, they are the same thing they're talking about. Okay, you say characteristics of sponge, characteristics of sicon, characteristics of porifera is the same thing they're talking about. Okay, so you should be able to link the examples to the phylum. Sponges obtain food mainly through feather feeding. That's how they obtain their food. The digestion in sponges is primarily intracellular. Okay, which of the following is not a characteristics of porifera? Well-developed organ system. Of course, you know that in the ranking of the phylums, they are the ones that have the least developed organ system. In fact, they don't have organ, they are cell. Remember that. Which phylum possesses specialized stinging cells known as cnidocytes? The Cnidarian. From the word cnidocyte, you should know that it is Cnidarian. Okay, 60. The stinging organelle found inside the cnidocyte is known as the nematocyst. Okay, cnidocytes are mainly involved in the defense and prey capture. Since some members of the Cnidarian are diploblastic, please take note of that. Diploblastic. The digestive cavity of a Cnidarian is the gastrovascular cavity. The gastrovascular cavity is a typical Cnidarian opened to the exterior through the mouth only. So Cnidarian, they have just one opening. So what they used to eat is what they still use to excrete. Okay, just use that analogy. 65. Which organism belongs to the Cnidarian? Hydra. Hydra is a common organism for the Cnidarian. Cnidarian is also known as your Coelenterata. Okay, please take note of that. The Hydra belongs to the class Hydrozoa. Okay, so under the phylum Cnidarian, we still have class. Okay, class. Aurelia is commonly known as the jellyfish. Okay, so it's very common. You should know that. Aurelia belongs to the Scyphozoa. Okay. Sea anemones and coral belongs to the Anthozoa. The free swimming body form of many Cnidarian is the medusa. You know, we have the medusa and we have the polyp. Medusa and polyp. Members of Platyhelminthes are commonly called the flatworms. I said that earlier. Flatworms, Platyhelminthes, plates, flat. Alright. Platyhelminthes are generally dashed. They are triboblastic, but they are acellular. So you should take note of this thing, because you can know that Platyhelminthes are triboblastic, and then you just want to pick something else if you don't know their body cavity. So you see, germ layers, body cavity, and symmetry. These three things are things that you must not play with. You must not play with before you write your zoology exams. Okay. Which organism belongs to the Platyhelminthes? Of course, the Taenia solium. Taenia, tapeworm. So we have different species. We have Taenia solium, we have other Taenias. You should take note of them. Okay. Taenia solium is commonly called pork tapeworm. So this is another popular question that you should take note of. They may ask you what is pork tapeworm. You should know that pork tapeworm is Taenia solium. Alright. Then we have Taenia saginata. Taenia saginata is known as beef tapeworm. So if you can paint a case scenario for you, we'll tell you, oh, this guy is eating pork, this guy likes eating beef. Which organism will be found in his digestive system? You should know it's Taenia solium or Taenia saginata, depending on. Don't allow these people confuse you. All these questions are simple. Okay. The anterior attachment structure of a tapeworm is the scolex. The segments of an adult tapeworm are called proglottids. Tapeworm belongs to the class Cystoda. Fasciola hepatica is commonly known as liver fluke. You can see that all of these things are common organisms. It's not like it's just the scientific name that are looking strange. They are common organisms. Okay. 80. Adult tapeworm lack a digestive tract. The Nematoda members are commonly called the roundworms. The typical body form of a nematode is cylindrical and unsegmented. Please take note, nematodes, they don't have segments. Roundworms don't have segments. I beg you in the name of God. Roundworms are one of the worms that don't have segments. Please take note. 83. Nematodes are traditionally described as pseudocoelomates. Okay. Which organism possesses a complete digestive system? Of course, Ascaris. The human intestinal roundworm is Ascaris lumbricoides. That's what we have. The tough external covering of Ascaris is the cortical. It's known as the cortical. The difference in appearance between a male and female Ascaris is the sexual dimorphism. Alright, the posterior end of a male Ascaris is generally curved and smaller. That's how you know That's how you know the difference between male and female ascaris, okay? But you might not really, you shouldn't really take note of that so well. But just know this question for the sake of your exam. Which phylum is characterized by a true metameric segmentation and a true phylum? You have your Annelida. Members of Annelida are commonly called the segmented worms. They are known as the segmented worms, okay? Lumbricus terrestris belongs to the Annelida. We already established that earlier on in one of the questions, okay? 92. The earthworm belongs to the class Oligochaeta. Lichens belong to the Hyrodinia. The beetles found in any annelids are called setae. Annelids generally possess a closed circulatory system. Unlike humans. Which class of annelids is predominantly marine and usually possess numerous seta? We have the Polychaeta. Polychaeta. Okay. 95. Okay, 96. We have Polychaeta. Which of the following is a characteristic feature of mollusca? Mollusca. When you hear mollusca, what comes to your mind is snail. All these things are things that once you just hear the phylum, once you are reading your question, day of the exam, once you just see the phylum, an organism should come to your mind. It's that organism you now use to answer your question. Okay. So we have soft body, often associated with a shell. The muscular structure used for locomotion in many mollusks is known as the muscular foot. Please take note. I know you might be tempted to go and say it's mantle or radula. Please, this is muscular foot. Okay, that's why I say you should use the organism as example. 99. The structure responsible for secreting the shell in many mollusks is known as the mantle. Then to the last question, but not the least, is which feature most clearly distinguishes Arthropoda from Annelida? It is the presence of exoskeleton and jointed appendages. So we have come to the end of this revision video for ZOO111. If you have watched this point and you are not yet a subscriber, please do well to hit the subscription button. And don't forget, like I said, if you are interested in the scientific names, basic scientific names of organisms, please do well to comment in the comment section that you are interested in the scientific name. And yes, I want to wish you all success in your upcoming exam. And don't forget, this is just a set of questions from the question bank. So if you're interested in getting the question bank for your subsequent exam, your physics, your mathematics, your COS, please do well to DM me. The question bank is currently available at the price of 2,500 naira. 2,500 naira, you can access all the question banks for the remaining courses. See you guys in the next video. Bye for now.